Hi everyone, and welcome back to Bite Size Rallying. And for episode 2, we're going to look at the Ford Escort Cosworth Group A rally car. And this car did look like a rally car. It's got the T-tray rear wing, the flared arches, and this rather exuberant paint job. So it certainly looks like a rally car. So, picture the scene. It's the late 1980s, and Stuart Turner, the director of motorsport at Ford, and his compatriot John Wheeler are trying to obtain approval from the Ford boards in America and Europe to put the vision, the Ford Escort, the upcoming model of the Ford Escort that's going to be launched around 1990, the new body shell, to take that car to approval with Ford Sierra Cosworth proven running gear in motorsport. So they've got a vision, an Escort Cosworth. And this is a vision that they know through their experience in rallying that will win World Championship rallies for Ford. They focus very much on that idea. And to get the car approved, they need to get something like 5,000 road-going Escort Cosworths into production. Quite an undertaking. And Ford, and particularly the Ford Escort, do have rallying DNA in the pedigree. The Mark 1 and Mark 2 string of RAC rally victories in the 1970s and 2 Drivers' World Championships for Bjorn Valdegaard and Harry Vatanen. So certainly Ford Escort, a proven entity and certainly a very, very good pedigree. However, Turner and his team, they had a couple of problems. The Ford RS 1700T was one problem, quite a big problem for them. That car was developed, or started to be developed in the early 1980s to replace the Mark II Escort. It's based on the Mark III front-wheel drive Escort, but instead of front-wheel drive, it was a rear-wheel drive car with a turbocharged engine. And that car was developed at quite a considerable cost to Ford. However, partway through the development programme, the Audi Quattro with its complex four-wheel drive system came good and started to win rallies. Ford knew the writing was on the wall and they had egg on the face big time. This 1700T was unlikely to win at World Championship level or not on a sustained basis. So Turner himself was instrumental in canning that project. The RS 1700T never turned a wheel on a World Championship rally, unfortunately. A few years later, Ford came back to rallying with the stunning Group B RS 200 four-wheel drive Group B supercar. They joined the season in They joined the Rally Championship in 1986. But unfortunately, as we all now know, Group B was canned on safety grounds at the end of '86. So now the RS 1700T or the RS 200 had actually won the World Championship rally. But Ford had spent a lot of money trying to do so. So that was a big problem for Turner. He was back now in front of the same people, trying to convince them to have another crack at rallying. So that was quite an undertaking for them. Fortunately for Turner and his team, there was a stroke of good luck. In 1990, the Mark IV Ford Escort was launched to the car buying public and the world's journalists. I think it's fair to say that it got a pretty shoddy reception. Well, the car was lambasted by the press, basically. The journal spotted that under the shiny new body shell was old running gear, the old CVH engines which had first appeared in 1970 something, basically the same engines under the bonnet, carburetor engines in some cases, I believe. So the car had a dowdy image. At that time, Ford Motorsport reported directly to the marketing department something about win on Sunday, sell on Monday. So therefore, the marketing team came to Turner and said, we need to brighten up the Escort's image. It's developed a dowdy image. We've got a problem. And the car buying public, they weren't buying these 1.4 Alexis or 1.4 gears when they could buy a Volkswagen Golf, a Vauxhall Astra, etc. So they had to do something. Turner and his team sensed an opportunity. And Turner suggested, well, I'll tell you what, why don't we get one of those Escort Cosworth prototypes out of the shed at Boreham where the cars were prepared, put it into a rally, something where we don't have to have a car homologated, we can race a prototype. And let's see what we can do. If it wins, opportunity. It's pretty low risk strategy. They found a rally in Spain, the Tel Aviv rally or something like that, and they put the car out there, driven by a Spaniard, Mia Bardolé, very, very capable driver, but not that well known outside of his homeland. And Bardolé actually won the rally, so fantastic. If it had gone off on the first corner, the car had blown up, nobody would have known about it, but as it was, it came good and the car won. So Stuart said, there you go, marketing department, over to you. And the marketing team worked wonders. The car was on the front of Rally Car magazine, I seem to recall. They did some fantastic press shoots with the car, lots of adverts. So there we go. But there was a slight problem. Strictly speaking, this thing hadn't been signed off. There was still that reticence at Ford Europe and Ford America. But that all of a sudden became a formality. The marketing team had done that good a job that everybody in the world knew about the Escort Cosworth, or the Escort Cosworth was actually approved to be a car. So therefore, checks got signed, the papers got signed, and the Escort Cosworth was born. So fast forward, 1993, January, Monte Carlo Rally. And Ford had signed Francois Delacour, a French driver, very, very quick, and his co-driver Daniel Grateloop, not forget the co-drivers here, and Mickey Biasio, double world champion, who moved over from Lancia a couple of years before, I think. So Biasio and Delacour were the drivers, very capable drivers, and this brand new car, Monte Carlo. Delacour was a revelation. He led the event from stage 2 to something like stage 20. Unfortunately for Ford, right at the very last minute, Didier Arago, a French compatriot driving the Toyota, beat him by 15 seconds. Nonetheless, Delacour finished second, Biasio finished third, I think it was. Fantastic result for the team. They would have taken that 3 or 4 days before. And the Escort Cosworth had a very, very promising debut. It just got better. A couple of hours later in Portugal, Delacour did win. He won again in France on the Corsica Rally, beat Oriol. Biasio won in Greece. And when we got to San Remo Rally in October, the two Fords were tipped to take victory. An event that had been won by Lancia, the home rally since 1986, I think it was. However, Delacour crashed out quite early on. Biasion's car, some kind of mechanical problem, and all of a sudden it looked like Lancia would retain the winning streak for yet another year. However, they'd underestimated a privateer driving a Ford Escort Cosworth called Franco Cunico. This was, compared to the works car, this was a very low budget affair. But Cunico came good. He beat Sainz and ended Lancia's dominance of the home rally, which didn't go down too well in Italy, and Lancia pulled out of rallying shortly afterwards, sadly. So in 1994, things continued. Francois Delacour did win Monte Carlo this time. And when we got to Finland, Tommy Mäkinen, making a guest appearance for Ford, driving this car, L124 PAR, also won the rally. So this was before Mäkinen obviously became mega famous for his 4 titles from Mitsubishi. But it begs the question, maybe Ford should have signed him and maybe kept hold of him. I'll leave that one with you. So, and we all know obviously the Escort Cosworth paved way for the Escort WRC, the Focus and the Fiesta that we see on the rallies today. So, hope you enjoyed that, everyone. Thank you for watching. If you do obviously wish to, you can certainly like, share and subscribe. But I'll see you next time for another episode of Bite Size Rallying. Thank you.